Well, if you're up early on the program every day, you will hear this next guest doing the Michigan Ag Report, Eric Pfeiffer. I listen to him every day, and now he's on the program because we have some gaps in reporting because of the government shutdown. Eric Pfeiffer, welcome to the program.
Steve, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Great to have you here. All right, so I listen to you every day. I am a devoted fan.
Appreciate that.
Well, you're here every day on the program. Look, the USDA. It has no government funding like a lot of places right now during this government shutdown. I think it's day 16. What does that mean for America's farmers? A lot of things come out from the USDA following crops, harvest, pricing. Where are we?
You know, it's a great question, Steve, because I'd love to give you a crop update for Michigan and the rest of the country this morning, but it's a little tough to do that. We're flying blind. The whole industry is flying blind at the moment because we don't have these reports from USDA. And ultimately, you know, we get a report every Monday about where our crop progress is. We're not getting those. We get a crop update each month, a report from USDA each month called the World Agriculture Supply and Demand Estimate Report. It was supposed to come out last Thursday. At this point, with the government shutdown reaching day 16, like you mentioned, you know, when this happened previously, it was day 16. They decided, no, we're just not going to do that report. Those reports are critical to farmers from a number of different standpoints. The biggest being the market action. Grain markets, as you know, can be volatile. They can move around. And right now, we're in this very sideways trading pattern for corn, soybeans, and wheat. And it's largely because traders don't know, do I want to get, short? Do I want to get long? They don't want to get too far one direction or the other because they're completely flying blind. We can take estimates from some of the big companies out there like StoneX that will say, nationwide that soybeans are probably about 2/3 of the way done. Corn, maybe not quite halfway. But we genuinely don't know because USDA has the best process in place to be able to figure those numbers. Yeah. And right now it is causing some major problems in the marketplace. And I'll say too, Steve, that the local FSA offices being closed right now, not great around harvest time either.
All right, so a lot of information. So will they keep tracking the crop even though they're not reporting it, or are they just going to have to pick it up where they stopped?
I think they will go back and they'll report, what was there. But the fear with that is, so when the federal government does reopen, how much information is going to come all at once, and how volatile will that move be in the marketplace? Yeah. And to which direction? That's what makes this difficult for farmers and for their advisors trying to help them.
Yeah, let me ask you something else, Eric, because this is really important. Look, I live in farm country here in Michigan. I'm out in the sticks. I like it that way. I love corn, beans, and wheat, and I love big deer. It's kind of the way I live out here, and I appreciate that. But what about China? What about the tariffs? What about China not buying soybeans? How big a deal is that right now?
It's a big one. And the fact of the matter is that China is completely absent from the soybean market, something that hasn't happened in a long time. And the last time that it did happen, President Trump was able to come through and put together the phase 1 trade deal with China, which was a huge boost to the market. So farmers are hopeful that happens again.
Well,
we're hoping, we're praying.
Yeah, I understand. Well, farmers pray a lot. I mean, because,
yes,
there's the weather, there's everything. But Xi and Trump are meeting end of the month in South Korea. I'm going to guess that Donald Trump is able to put something together again. So if he does, let's just say he does put something together with China and they begin purchasing massive amounts of American soybeans again, it could be a windfall for the farmers, couldn't it?
Ultimately, it could. Maybe not this year. This year, they've been purchasing all of their soybeans from Brazil. They've got large reserves. That's why some are a little pessimistic about a trade deal getting done, at least in the way of soybeans this time around, because China's figured out a different supply source.
So and that's if our beans don't go to China, where do they go? What happens to them?
We've got to find different markets, and that's what the ag industry has been working toward for at least the past 8 years.
I mean, we
USDA
can't be. I
actually
mean,
put in a
Eric,
new
to be
USDA
fair,
undersecretary.
we cannot be beholden to China for beans or anything
can't.
else for that matter. And Donald Trump is upsetting the world trade, practices of the last 20, 30, 40 years in a variety of places, not just agricultural products. And so maybe it is time. Maybe it's going to be upsetting and unsettling for a bit. But we do need alternatives. You can't have just one main place that it all goes, because if that place says no, this is what happens, right?
And that's why USDA, I guess in their wisdom, would imagine that he did put in a USDA Undersecretary for Trade and Foreign Agricultural Affairs. It used to be Ted McKinney. Now it's Luke Lindbergh. We had someone traveling the globe trying to sell our ag products, and that's been a great addition to the USDA team. Now, as far as where do these soybeans go, we're trying to get it other places. The fact of the matter is China is the largest market.
Yeah.
And that's why among some farmers, I'm not going to paint a big broad brush here, Steve, patience is growing a little thin, but that might largely be because it's harvest time right now.
Yeah.
We got to harvest these crops, and then we've got to have somewhere to go with it. I will say, by and large, and you know that rural America got Trump elected.
Yep.
They're still behind him at this point. They understand that this is a bigger issue than just China not buying soybeans.
Right. It's not a one-season issue. I guess my point, Eric. It's not a one-season issue. It's where are we going to be in 5 years, 10 years, 25 years? That's really the question. I got to leave it there for today, but here's what I want. I want you to come back more often. Look, agriculture is huge in Michigan. It's huge in Indiana, Ohio, the entire region. It matters to people here because farms and agriculture drive the economy of rural America. Eric Pfeiffer, really appreciate you being here. You come back anytime. We're going to make sure of it.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate the time.
There you have it. All right, I want him back because, look, it impacts all of us. Whether you realize it or not, we're all interconnected with agriculture, no matter how far removed you are from the farm. I'll take a break and be right back.